They'll call you distant, cold, changed. But what they're really saying is, you stopped giving them control. Because silence isn't emptiness. It's a mirror. And the moment you stop explaining yourself, people are left to face the noise of their own conscience. In this episode, we explore the Stoic power of silence, the discipline of walking away without explanation. Because by the end, you'll understand how this ancient Stoic wisdom can transform emotional chaos into calm control. When you master silence, you master yourself. Never explain yourself again with this Stoic wisdom. Your life-changing wisdom starts now. You know, there is an act of strength that's so profound, so powerful, it doesn't even require a raised voice or some big final word. It's that decision to just say nothing. To be still when every single part of you wants to fight or justify or chase after closure. That right there, that quiet power, it changes everything. So let's just start right here with this fundamental truth. And I want you to really hear this. This isn't just a suggestion, this is a form of liberation. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your peace, for your choices, or for that quiet exit you had to make to keep your sanity. So where does this feeling even come from? This unspoken rule. We have to justify our own existence. We all feel it, don't we? That nagging need to explain why we changed, why we had to leave, or why we just don't feel the same way we used to. It's such a heavy burden to carry, isn't it? This feeling that our peace is somehow negotiable, that we have to stand in front of a court of other people's opinions and defend it. Where does this pressure actually come from? Why do we feel like we have to hand over the blueprint to our own inner world just because somebody asks for it? And here's the heart of it. We believe that if we've shared something with someone, time, love, effort, then we've created a kind of debt. But that belief, it's usually rooted in ego, both ours and theirs. It's this illusion that a neat and tidy explanation is somehow going to bring peace or fix what's been broken. But the truth is, it almost never does. And that leads us right into this deep-seated need for something we call closure. Man, we chase it, we demand it, and we feel totally lost without it. But what if closure itself is the trap? What if it's just a story we tell ourselves so we don't have to sit with the discomfort of an ending we just can't control? You see, closure isn't always about healing. A lot of the time, it's just a mental filing system. The human mind, well, it wasn't really built for ambiguity. It craves neat, tidy conclusions. It wants to take the messy, chaotic, painful experience of an ending and just stuff it into a box, slap a label on it, and be done. And you've got to understand, this need for closure is primal. I mean, for our ancestors, uncertainty literally meant danger. So today, an unresolved story, it feels like a lingering threat that our brain just wants to neutralize. And our ego, it desperately wants to be the one to write that final chapter, to control how the story gets told. But that feeling of completion, it's usually just an illusion. It's a temporary comfort that lets us avoid the real work, which is letting go. So when you see someone just pushing and relentlessly demanding an explanation, it's rarely about them trying to understand your pain. It's about control. They want to grab the reins of the narrative again, to shrink your complex decision down to a single, manageable reason. And usually it's a reason that makes them the victim and you the villain. Okay, so what actually happens when we give into this need to justify everything? The biggest impact isn't on them. It's on our own inner world. This right here is the absolute key. Every single time you offer up an explanation when it's not truly needed, you're sending a signal. You're telling people that your internal state, your boundaries, your peace, it's all up for debate. You're basically inviting them into a negotiation they have absolutely no right to be a part of. You know, the great Stoic philosopher Seneca reminds us about our most precious, non-renewable resource, time. And think about it. How much of it do we waste? Chasing ghosts, replaying old conversations, trying to explain ourselves to people who are just committed to misunderstanding us. That time, it is so much better spent healing, growing, and protecting your own energy. Okay, so if explaining is a trap, then what's the alternative, right? Well, the Stoics offered a really powerful one: silence. And I'm not talking about an empty, awkward silence. I mean a deliberate, disciplined silence that is a profound source of strength. Zeno, the guy who actually founded Stoicism, he laid it out perfectly. This isn't just about being quiet. It's a strategic choice. It's about shifting from a state of constant output to a state of keen observation. When you finally stop talking, you can finally start to see and hear what's really going on around you. Just think about the benefits here. When you're faced with an angry person, silence is like a matador's cape. It dodges their rage without making things worse. It projects this quiet confidence that's way more powerful than shouting. It saves your precious energy for what actually matters. And maybe the best part, the most strategic part, your silence can never be twisted or used against you. It just is. And then you've got the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, who brings this whole idea inward. He reminds us that the real power isn't our choice of response, an external event, like someone demanding an explanation. It only has the power to upset us if we give it that power. Choosing silence is choosing to protect your inner fortress. Okay, but we need to be really, really clear about something here. Stoic silence and detachment are not about becoming some cold, unfeeling person. That's a huge misunderstanding. This is about a much higher form of emotional discipline. Think of it this way. Dismissal, that's reactive. It's driven by ego. It's an attempt to punish someone, the cold shoulder. Detachment, on the other hand, is a conscious choice that comes from wisdom. It's not about ignoring the other person. It's about calmly observing the situation without getting tangled up in all the chaos. Its goal isn't to hurt, it's to protect your own peace. So you get it, right? True Stoic practice isn't the absence of emotion, it's the control of it. It's about feeling everything deeply, but refusing to let those feelings dictate your actions in a way that harms you. It's channeling that energy with purpose, choosing restraint over a reaction you know you're going to regret later. So, how do we actually bring this philosophy into our everyday lives? How do we make silence our final, most powerful word? Well, it all starts with practice. Here's a really simple but incredibly powerful way to start. First, just create a little space. That simple 3-second pause can be the difference between a knee-jerk reaction and a thoughtful response. Second, question your impulse. So much of what we say is just reflexive, not reflective. Ask yourself, are my words actually necessary right now? And third, make a conscious choice. Recognize that your peace is your most valuable asset. Choose to protect it. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and rose to become one of the great Stoic teachers, he understood this on a profound level. This practice, it isn't some intellectual exercise. It's wisdom that's been forged in the fire of difficult experiences. It's what you learn when you finally realize that words, they often just fail to capture the real depth of your journey. So please, let this be your mantra. You do not owe an explanation for your healing. Showing your wounds to the very person who inflicted them, hoping for their understanding, that rarely leads to healing. All it does most of the time is just reopen the wound. Protect yourself. Your healing is sacred, and it doesn't require an audience. And that's really the heart of it all, isn't it? In the end, this is the most profound truth. Your silence is not an absence. It is a presence. It's a quiet, unshakable boundary. It becomes a mirror, forcing others to confront themselves, not you. It teaches them about consequences, about respect, and about the sheer weight of your absence in a way that 1,000 explanations never, ever could. That is the lesson they will carry with them long after your final words have faded. Your silence teaches what words never could. You don't have to justify your peace. You don't have to explain your worth. Every time you stay silent, you teach the world that your boundaries are not up for discussion. So ask yourself, where in your life are you still explaining what should already be clear? Take a breath. Let the silence answer for you, because your silence teaches what words never could. If this message spoke to you, give it a moment of acknowledgement. Like this video, subscribe for more timeless wisdom, and share it with someone who needs a little more peace in their life today. And when you're ready for what comes next, join me in episode 2, the ancient Stoic secret that makes you unshakable. Remember, silence is the first step toward peace. But being unshakable is where you find your power. Thank you for joining me. Till next time, remember, silence is golden.